Well, they've been called the worst of the worst. A 2008 Pentagon report revealing that the Taliban 5 pose a significant risk to the United States and its allies. And that trade for Bo Bergdahl was reportedly just the first. The Obama administration accused of releasing convicted terrorist al-Mari in exchange for a United States couple jailed in Qatar. And ISIS now demanding a terror trade of its own. So has the United States abandoned its policy of not negotiating with terrorists? And at what cost? We're going to ask Major Pete Hegseth, CEO of Concern Veterans and for America and a Fox News contributor. You know, this is troubling.
Yeah.
We're at war. And when you see this Taliban 5, to understand that a trade was made and the precedent that it set, I'd love to get your message on what this sends globally to our enemies.
Boy, that's the most dangerous aspect. If these five are, we're willing to trade them for a deserter who we knew was a deserter at the time. The investigations after the fact very clearly revealed that. They've slow walked it, as you guys have very outlined very clearly. This sends a message to our enemy that we are willing to negotiate with terrorists.
Yeah.
Effectively negotiate with terrorists. Think about those words actually coming off the lips of an American. It's something we've never been willing to do, starting with Jefferson and the Barbary Pirates. We don't negotiate with terrorists.
Right.
We act strongly based on principle and our own will. Here now, suddenly, we've decided that door is open, and Islamists are exploiting the heck out of it.
Of course, it's now a form of currency. Our own. Well, let's go through these 5. Okay, these are high-risk individuals that pose a danger to the United States. Abdul Haik, right here. Tell me about him. He was sent to Qatar.
Transferred to Qatar, high-level Taliban commander. What you'll see on all of these guys is red, green, red, right? High risk, low threat from a detention perspective, high intelligence, meaning these guys are likely to go back to the battlefield and try to fight Americans and still have connections to Taliban leadership. So it's not as if he's going to know what's happening right now because of actionable intelligence. He knows the networks. He knows the people that are still facilitating attacks in Pakistan and Afghanistan.
Okay, let's go to number 2 here. Nurullah Nouri.
Yeah, significant military experience with the Taliban, and with a connection to al-Qaeda. So this guy was not just an intelligence officer, but an action-oriented guy working with al-Qaeda in attempts to attack Americans on the battlefield. This is another guy. You'll notice the trend: red, green, red. High risk, high intelligence value. So
we could be getting information from them.
Well, it's not that we pulled this guy off the battlefield in 2002. It's not as if we're going to get information from him that's going to lead us to somebody now. It's the networks and how they communicate, who's connected to who, that has a great deal of value in this particular scenario.
Of course. What about Mohammed Fazl, also sent to Qatar?
Also sent to Qatar, and who knows how long he'll be held at Qatar, by the way.
High risk, again.
High risk. Low threat. When they say low threat from a detention perspective, that means at Guantanamo Bay, he's a low threat there to sort of perpetuate attacks, which means he's gone docile there. All it means is he's waiting to go back and have the opportunity to continue attacks. So it's not as if these guys are a low threat in that sense.
Okay, what about Khairullah Kharkwa?
Close ties to Osama bin Laden and extremist elements within al-Qaeda. So he's also accused of trafficking heroin. And so, nicely, these are guys who not just are committed to fighting and killing Americans, but, you know, they're involved in nice side businesses as well that facilitate and finance the things that they do.
Okay, this last one here, Mohammed Nabi.
Mohammed Nabi, senior Taliban leader, held multiple leadership positions within the Taliban. Once again, a commander of the Haqqani Network. We've heard about the Haqqani Network. They're in eastern Afghanistan and Pakistan. One of the most violent elements. They like to strike inside Kabul. Member of the Haqqani Network. Also, a variation in our pattern of red, green, red. Also a high threat from a detention perspective. These guys are all looking to go back to the battlefield.
High risk. They're in Qatar, and chances are that they will go back to the battlefield as the recidivation.
And we traded them for someone that we knew was a deserter. We knew it. Tony, the colonel is right. Others talking about this are right. Those inside the Pentagon have known this for a long time. We knew what this guy did. We traded because this president wants to shut down Guantanamo Bay and knew this was the way to get the 5 of the worst out first so he could pursue a political agenda.
Putting us further at risk, you say?
That's right. Absolutely.
Major Hegseth, thank you.